Hey everyone, it's Gordon. Okay, we are live. You guys could do me a huge favor. I am just going to head over to my Facebook right now just to make sure we are live, and then we're going to get started. We're also waiting for one of our guests, Chief Dr. Lester Bailey, to join us as well. Okay, do me a favor, type a comment so I know you're here. Look at this. Okay, we are live. I remember one time I did a Facebook Live, and when it was finished, I thought, man, I did a really good Facebook Live. And when I went back to look on Facebook, if the setting was private, only I could see it and nobody else could. So right now, I think it shows that it is live to just friends. I'm going to make it live so anybody, everyone and anyone can potentially see this post. So if you guys can work with me for a sec, I'm going to make sure that, no, it still says friends. Okay. But if you want, you can actually see it on YouTube as well. So today we're going to talk about mindset and positivity. Okay. So if you are someone who believes that mindset is important and having a positive mental attitude is important, please type the word mindset in a comment or type PMA, right? Positive mental attitude. If that is important for you to have a positive mental attitude, please put that in the comment. Okay. Just buying some time till Chief gets here. We're going to talk about some principles from the book Think and Grow Rich as well, TGR. How many of you have read TGR, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill? Okay, if you have, let me know. Let me know if you read the book Think and Grow Rich. Jay, thank you for joining us. Jay Jayakanthan, the co-founder with Lander for Success. He's also the founder for some pretty incredible events that's happening right here in the GTA as well. The Niagara Canada International Film Festival, the fashion show, Fashion Weeks in Niagara Falls, Fashion Expos right here in Brampton, Ontario, and soon a fashion show and Fashion Week in Durham as well. And I know for Jay, having a healthy mental attitude is important. If you get a chance to meet Jay Jayakanthan, one of his favorite quotes from the book Think and Grow Rich is, whatever the mind of man can conceive or achieve, he or she can achieve. Think about that for a minute. If you can see it first, right? If you can conceive it, if you can believe it, right? You can achieve it. So it starts with the mind, doesn't it? It starts with the mind. You have an idea. You start thinking about it. If you think about it and you talk about it long enough, you can actually put it into action and make it happen. Does that make sense? So yes, having a good positive mental attitude is really important. It's like, let's say I got this mug right here. That says Niagara Canada International Film Festival. Somebody had to make this coffee mug right here. So if I think all day, I can have this positive mental attitude about making this mug. I can, but if I don't do something about it, it's never going to happen. Would you guys agree with that? So whether it's a working on a relationship, wanting to have a better relationship with our family, with our kids, better relationships with our coworkers or employees, or having that proper positive mental attitude about a business. I can think about it all day. I can think about making sales all day. Right? But if I don't actually go out and knock on doors and make those sales calls, then it's never going to happen. I work quite a bit with real estate agents and brokers. So if a real estate agent that I'm working with says, hey, you know what? I want to make money and I want to sell lots of real estate, because the more I sell, the more money I'm going to make. And that agent could think about it all day long. They could sit there and try to manifest and think about it all day long. Let me give you an example. In the GTA, in the Toronto real estate market, a detached home sells for about $1 million. So if I was a real estate agent, or if the agent said, okay, I want to make $100,000 a year. How many of you would like to make $100,000 a year? Okay. I know some of you make more than that. I know some of you money's not important. I know some of you can smoke cigars with $1,000 bills probably, and it doesn't matter, right? So for those of you, if money's not important, take a coffee break, and then we'll get back to you in a sec. But for those of you, if you're thinking money is important, let's go to this agent for a minute who wants to make $100,000 a year. If they sell $1 million home at 5% commission, that's $50,000. Now we know that usually there's a selling agent and there's a buying agent, and they split that commission in half. So half of 5% is 2.5%. So if they sell $1 million home, they're going to make $25,000, right? So pretty simple math. So if an agent wants to make $100,000 a year and they sell 4 homes a year in this $1 million neighborhood, 25,000 times 4, there's their 100,000 a year. Pretty simple, right? But an agent can sit there all day long and think about selling $1 million homes. But if they don't actually take action and go out and do something about it, would you agree that nothing will happen? They have to go and knock on doors, right? They have to go into the neighborhood, knock on doors, talk to homeowners, and ask them that they want to sell their home. Or whatever way they need to go out there to network and meet more people to let them know that they are a real estate agent and why people should buy from them. So let me give you an example of one thing that some of the agents I work with will do. I have agents that will put on seminars and workshops for first-time home buyers. They are called first-time home buyer workshops, right? So I remember working with a gentleman named Peter. I remember Peter called me one day and said, "Hey, Gordon, I want you to show me how to make a 6-figure income in the real estate industry." I said, "Peter, one of the things that I know best is seminars and workshops. And I think, maybe what I could do is coach you on how to host first-time home buyer workshops." And the first thing Peter said to me was, "I am scared to death. I'm scared to speak in front of people. Anybody scared of talking in front of people?" Well, get over that fear, okay? Maybe you need to take a public speaking course, right? Or do Facebook Lives like this, because the more you do it, the better you become. Anyways, we did first-time home buyer workshops. So we would have, let's say, a first-time home buyer workshop, and 20, 30 people will be there. And Peter will talk about strategies on how a first-time home buyer can work with him to go buy a home, right? And at that point in my career, I think I was still a mortgage agent. And so I would do, my part of the presentation was on mortgage financing. And I would talk to that first time, I would teach the first-time home buyer why it's important to get their financing already pre-qualified before they actually go out with Peter to go look for a home, right? Because there's no sense looking for a $2 million home if you can only afford $1 million, right? Because you can find a home and not qualify for the financing. So we would do a presentation for 30 people. And some people would say, "Hey, Peter, I love your presentation. I love how you do things." And they would sign a buyer agency agreement with Peter. And then Peter would go out and help them buy their first home. That's called action. And so what are you doing? What actions are you taking in your business, right, to make sure you can go out there and acquire the customers or the clients that you need to be able to make money? So going back to, let's say this mug for a minute. Let's say this mug is, say it's $10, right? This custom mug, Niagara Canada International Film Festival, this custom mug sells for $10. So if I want to make $100, I got to sell 10 of these, right? 10 times 10 is 100. If I want to make $1,000, I got to sell 100 of them, right? So if I want to make $100,000, I have to go out and sell 10,000 mugs. So if I can sell 10,000 of these mugs at $10 a piece, now I made $100,000. So my action steps would be, okay, what do I need to do to go out and sell 10,000 mugs? Okay, so you can figure out for yourself, the business you're in, what action steps do you need to take? What type of marketing do you need to do? Is it maybe a trade show? So if I went to a trade show, that if I went to a specific trade show that's related to my industry, then I may be able to sell that product to that specific industry. Let me give you an example. We have a product with our company, Landed for Success, where we help individuals or business owners become best-selling authors. We have a book series called Landed for Success Untold Stories. And each one of those, each one of our books, we have now volume 4 going on volume 5. Each one of the volume has about 15 to 20 authors who each share their story in the book. Most of the folks who share their stories are business owners, entrepreneurs, authors, coaches, speakers. Okay. So if I wanted to get more authors to join our book, Land for Success, then I would attend events or host our own events, our Land for Success or Success Talks events, where we have an audience that are authors and coaches and speakers. And from that group, they will potentially buy into our book series and become a best-selling author with us with Land for Success. I'll give you an example. Okay. September 27th. On September 27th, what is that? A month and a half away from now. September 27th, we have an event called Success Talks. So Success Talks will consist of 4 or 5 speakers that will be giving their signature talk to an audience. So that will be, I believe it's going to be at the Brampton City Hall on September 27th. We'll have 5 or 6 speakers who will speak, and then we'll have about 100 people in the audience that are business owners, entrepreneurs. While we're there, not only will we share from the front of the room, from the stage, to let the audience know that they can participate and become an author in the book, we'll also have a table and a booth with several people there to answer any questions that the audience may have about our book series, Landed for Success. How much does it cost? How many words do they have to write? How do they write it? How does their team help them do the writing and the editing and all of that, right? And publish it and drive to a best-selling author. So by having these live events, and sometimes we'll do webinars, so sometimes it's online, or sometimes we're a guest at other people's events, right? Like there's a business show that Jay and I attend, a business opportunity franchise show, probably about twice a year, where people invite us to come and speak to their audience, and we'll present there and let their audience know that if they have a story and they want to become a best-selling author, they can join our Land for Success book series. So by doing all these activities, these events and seminars and workshops, it allows us to be in front of the right audience that may potentially want to become an author in a book. So I hope some of this information helps with the idea that, yes, it's great to have a positive mental attitude that my business is going to grow. But the important thing is not only being positive and enthusiastic about what you're doing, but taking proper action, having a game plan or a business plan, following through with that game plan or business plan with action steps that leads to success. All right, love to share a quick poem with you from the book Think and Grow Rich about success, and we'll end here. And the poem goes something like this. It says, if you think you are beaten, you are. And if you think you dare not, you don't. If you like to win, but you think you can, it's almost certain you won't. And if you think you'll lose, you're lost. For out of the world we find, success begins with a person's will. It's all in the state of mind. And if you think you are outclassed, you are. It says you have to think high to rise. And you have to be sure of yourself before you can ever win a prize. Life's battles don't always go to the fastest or strongest men or women, but sooner or later, the men or women who wins are the ones who believe they can. Do you believe you can win? I believe together here at Landed for Success, we can win together. Please go check out our website, landedforsuccess.com. Consider becoming a best-selling author with us. Consider becoming a VIP member so you can network with our members from all around the world. Thank you so much for watching. And until the next time, have an amazing, amazing day.